It begins with a whisper of green light. A comet gliding through the black, glowing softly, breathing out clouds of cyanide. Its chemistry all wrong for anything born beneath our sun. Astronomers call it 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object ever found. But some are starting to ask the unthinkable. What if this isn't just another rock? Welcome back to our Dark Signal series. Today we chase the alien heartbeat hiding inside a comet that at first glance shouldn't exist. When scientists first trained their telescopes on 3I Atlas, they expected ice and dust, the usual ingredients of a cosmic snowball. Instead, they found something unsettling. The comet's thin atmosphere, or coma, was rich with cyanide gas, but missing the long carbon chains seen in our own system. It was, in a chemical sense, foreign. And then came the glow, a faint emerald hue that began to pulse as sunlight struck its surface. To most, it was a beautiful oddity. To others, a warning flare, a sign of chemistry so alien it might as well be language. If this isn't built like our comets, what kind of world could have made it? Long before it ever neared the warmth of our sun, 3I Atlas started to stir. It began shedding gas and light in the frozen dark between the planets, where temperatures should have kept it asleep. Whatever lived inside it wasn't the typical water ice we know. This was something far more volatile. Carbon dioxide, nitrogen, maybe even hydrogen. Materials that only wake in the deep cold of distant systems. It was alive, in its own strange way, before it should have been. Almost as if it remembered a different kind of sunlight. And when it did awaken, it broke another rule of nature. Its tail turned toward the sun. Telescopes across the world caught it. Dust streaming the wrong way, a tail glowing faintly toward the sun, as if the object were pushing back against it. Some said propulsion, others said physics. But even the light it reflected was wrong. Polarization studies showed patterns unlike any comet we've ever seen. Not even Borisov, its interstellar predecessor, behaved this way. The light scattered in sharp, narrow bands, as if the grains themselves were shaped by alien hands. Or born in conditions our solar system could never replicate. If this dust truly came from another star, what story does it carry with it? Okay, let's speculate for a second. If 3I Atlas truly came from another star, what kind of world could have forged it? Imagine a colder sun, dimmer, older, burning a soft copper instead of gold. Its light barely reaches the outer dark, where temperatures fall so low that carbon dioxide freezes before water ever can. There, in that slow-motion night, dust grains fuse together, one layer of ice, one of rock, one of frozen breath. Over time, they become something strange. A comet born in shadows, made of hyper-volatiles that awaken in the cold instead of the warmth. That's why 3I Atlas began to stir long before sunlight touched it. It remembered a different kind of star, one that shaped it from CO2 and carbon monoxide, not water and light. Even its glow tells a story. That faint emerald shimmer, the signature of cyanide and diatomic carbon, gases that whisper of chemistry unfamiliar to our solar system. And the way it scatters light, sharp, narrow, unnervingly perfect, is something we've never seen before. Almost as if its dust was sculpted under alien physics. If that's true, then this comet isn't just passing through space. It's carrying the fingerprints of another creation. A place where habitable might mean something entirely different. A world of dry ice dunes, a sky of metallic frost, and oceans that never melted. Atlas is more than a visitor. It's a message in mineral form. Proof that the universe dreams in more colors than we've ever seen. For weeks, astronomers tried to gauge its size. At first, it seemed enormous, maybe 10 kilometers across, massive enough to dwarf any interstellar object ever seen. Headlines erupted. Alien craft the size of a mountain. But then the truth shifted. Its glow was not from bulk, but activity. A small, dense nucleus, perhaps only a few kilometers wide, was erupting with gas and dust, flaring brighter than expected, pulsing like a dying ember gasping for air. The illusion of scale had fooled us, and yet, the smaller it became, the stranger it felt. Not a giant ship passing through our system, but a seed from another world, carrying the memory of a forgotten sun. Where had it traveled from? And what could it teach us about the life that might drift between stars? Atlas moves fast, too fast for any world to claim it. It sweeps through our solar system once and will never return. And though every model says it's natural, the feeling it leaves behind isn't. Everything about it, its chemistry, its light, its impossible behavior, makes it feel alive. Not in the biological sense, but in the way an idea feels alive. Persistent, intentional, poetic. Across history, we've filled gaps in our knowledge with gods, myths, and now, aliens. But maybe, every time we do that, what we're really expressing is awe. Our way of saying, this shouldn't exist, but it does. And in that moment, we forget the most beautiful truth of all. Nature doesn't need help from aliens to look alien. Atlas could be an alien spaceship, but in a more realistically romantic way, it's a story fragment, a clue in the language of the cosmos, a shard of another solar system that broke away billions of years ago, carrying within it the fingerprints of a distant alien world. It's proof that the universe keeps building and keeps throwing pieces of itself across the stars, like seeds searching for soil. And maybe that's what this really is. Not a visit, but an invitation. A reminder that we're part of a much bigger conversation, one written not in words, but in matter. Because if rocks can travel between stars, then most likely, life can too. If you enjoyed this video, I'd recommend watching this one next. It dives even deeper into what we actually know about our potentially alien visitor. And until then, stay curious.